Salty Dog, I want you to hang with me in Hancock for a little bit.
As we continue to unravel the mysteries of the universe, we also confront new challenges, from understanding the quantum nature of gravity to exploring the possibility of other dimensions and the true nature of time itself.
I want you to hear that statement for a second because I have seen the recruiter station and I have seen the village clerk's office. The difference to me, as far as exploring different realities, is getting numbers. Is watching, is doing a secondary protocol of the recruiter station, or doing a secondary protocol of Phyllis's job, or the mayor's, or anybody else's there, Joe Zizekis, or Brian Drums, or one of the Duftons. Those are the people. I've never stepped on any of them. I know Joe Zizekis' kid stole some stuff from me back in the day. But I've always nodded nice to Brian and done these other ones, and other than the incident of getting into it with that fucking mayor for the first time about trying to get a job and working it out, wouldn't you have loved to put me to work already? Where? Shoveling ditches, doing resources, something like that. I mean, if we can get $1 million grant for a fucking water treatment system inside of here, about wherever that came from, I'll go to Big Daddy government and make this a military base. We don't have strip clubs, 45 minutes out in every direction to put in a few staff units inside of there. I need a mayor, a clerk, a public works guy, the DOT team, which is probably amongst your setup in the library there. About being able to put a unit secondary protocol in that AO for training. First things first is you're just doing a basic audit, neutral. You're not there to find out anything. You're just there to do Big Uncle Sam's job in town for the American people that are there. A free service provided for this, that they book every single book that you do. That I'll get a lady officer for the for Phyllis. She shouldn't have a problem. I wouldn't want to put a big bad Salty with her. Of course, Mrs. Salty should be Mrs. Salty. When it comes to the mayor, I might need something a little bit higher on the food chain to take a unit of people like that and actually be able to figure out the arborization or a model to figure out how that computer worked for them, so I can send them that copy and make sure that I cut a department head out of the military for that, for funding on an issue about what they are due in that system, or how we can 30-year that out or dividend that system into a fair standard that I could easily explain to the townspeople. Or village. We just got that $1 million site coming into the water treatment, and of course everybody's books and auditing. If somebody's got a problem with paying their water when we're getting $1 million water bill, I just don't want to give them free water. But there's got to be a way to rectify that system in terms of, well, let's figure out this system, and once we drop out the military unit, short of it being established where I could throw something back into it for secondary protocol, fuck the police, right? I mean, that's what it is. This is a little town. I hope they don't get too high on their own piss. But that's what they're leaving on the table by not recruiting me, by not necessarily praising it, but there's Air Force AM and then there's Marine AM, right? Why would you choose one or the other? Well, I'd still choose this one because, well, that's generally what I need. I'm a little bit tighter and I need another throw on it for a while before I get back to it. Considering the Air Force of that regular zero Army standard of it against just waking up in the morning a regular civilian, and doing it. It's got a lot of bullshit. Off of that platform, it makes sense. A lot of people can build off of that. You can route the timelines better than Kang the Conqueror inside of there, the military trident. There's a lot of other ways about that. In terms of that competition, but it'll never not lead to the point where I try to be smart about staying in the middle of it, about if I'm beaten, then I'm beaten, but there's still Hamiltonian rules. I'm happy to have you in the office tomorrow right up my ass with me, telling me what I'm going to need to do or what check I need to sign until the Hamiltonian comes around. And fuck buddy, I'll back you up. I could care less. I'm glad this town's got somebody to do it. When I do that correctly, you'll probably give me what's right to the system, short of me, going to work for Wagner's for the town on the system like that, because it's public stock, and I'll bring it around about how the crewing system, I'll start fucking digging, just any general training protocol on an audit of a cop all day. Eventually I'll hit it like I'll hit a stonemason's. It's something that's real. You don't want somebody looking all that time, so don't give them a fucking reason to.